Just waiting for everyone to come on live. Sure. So I think we can start now. Um, Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's panel discussion All Men's Lives Matter, addressing gender bias and advocating for men's rights in India. As we strive for a more balanced and inclusive society, it's important to shine a light on issues that often remain in the shadows men's rights, the challenges they face in legal and social systems, and the biases that exist are critical topics that deserve a meaningful discussion. We're fortunate to have a remarkable panel of experts with us today. We have Advocate Kanchan Singh, a seasoned lawyer with 12 years of experience at the Lucknow High Court. Advocate Singh specializes in civil laws, property matters, constitutional law, and more. She's also a research scholar and committed to drafting impactful litigation strategies. We have Advocate Vinayak Bhatia with a strong focus on criminal cases, property disputes, and arbitration. Advocate Bhatia is known for delivering precise legal solutions. His meticulous drafting and comprehensive understanding of legal landscapes ensure top tier representation. Uh, then we have Advocate Syed Rafat Jahan, a passionate advocate for marginalized communities. Advocate Jahan specializes in criminal law, family matters, and civil writ petitions. Her deep commitment to social justice makes her a leading voice in addressing complex societal issues. Together, they bring years of experience and unique perspectives to this important conversation. We'll dive into the realities of gender bias, the barriers men face, and how we can work toward equality for everyone. Before we begin this discussion, I want to share a small video with you first.
In a world where time is precious, getting swift access to legal help shouldn't be a privilege, but a right. Welcome to Rest the Case, India's most trusted online platform for legal solutions. We are transforming the legal tech landscape, bridging gaps, and bringing legal support to anyone, anywhere, at any time. The legal field in India can be overwhelming. Courts are crowded, the search for the right legal help is confusing, and legal fees can be unpredictable. Many litigants face trust issues, uncertain about finding a lawyer who truly understands their needs. Rest the Case solves this by providing verified lawyer profiles, making it easier than ever to find trusted legal support.
We all are aware of that lawyers are not allowed to advertise themselves, right? But again, they do need something else going on from their routine practice, just so that there are people who actually know about them so that they can reach out to them without any hassle and easily.
That's where Rest the Case steps in. From consultations to document drafting and court representation, our digital platform brings legal expertise to your fingertips.
The legal ecosystem is a triangle: judiciary, litigant, and the lawyer. But we are touching the litigants, both B2C, retail, and B2B corporates, and the lawyers. So our tools will make life simpler for litigants, retail, by helping them reach the right lawyers. We are using GenAI, we are creating an improved matching system. And for B2B, which is for startups and mid-level corporates, we are helping them by doing tasks like document draft creation, also other aspects which relates to their internal process improvement.
Powered by cutting-edge technology, our platform leverages AI to match users with the most suitable lawyers. Based on expertise and location, from its start, Rest the Case has grown rapidly. With a presence across India, our mission is to provide legal accessibility everywhere, from big cities to smaller towns.
Our vision is to make legal support accessible and affordable for everyone in India. Our journey began in the lockdown, where suddenly people did not know what to do or where to find the right legal support. We then realized that this is not just a pandemic issue. This is an issue that people face every day and everywhere. That's how Rest the Case was born. We bridged the gap between a lawyer and a client to give them a reliable place to find the right legal help.
Rest the Case, because every case deserves the right support.
Thank you for watching the video. We can begin the discussion now. So my first question is open to all panelists. How do you think does the lack of awareness about men's issues contribute to gender bias in judiciary and in society? Anyone is open to take this?
Okay, I would like to take this.
Yeah.
Uh, Hello everyone. Hello co-panelists. When we talk about like gender bias, we often think of women's struggles only, which are of course significant and real. But what we really miss is the silent suffering of men. I think society always assumes that men are always very strong and they are capable of defending themselves also. So, this lack of awareness actually means men's issues like false accusations, and it may be emotional neglect, and many more cases or many more things. And in India, actually, nearly 70%, 65 to 70% of suicides were done in 2021, like till 21, were by men only. This is just this is isn't just a statistic; it's a reflection of lives lost because society and the system often fail to listen to men. So I think, yeah, men struggle more than women on that gender biasness things.
Okay. Anyone else wants to add anything?
Yeah, I would like to add on that traditional gender roles can discourage men from caring for their physical and mental health as well, and which encourages them to be ambitious and successful at work. And this particularly leads to unhealthy pressure and hinder men's domestic engagement as well. So this is one of the thing also that I would like to add.
Right. Okay. Advocate Vinayak, anything you would like to add to start the discussion?
Okay. Um, First, like the views put by Kanchan ma'am and Sayed were like actually to the point.
Mm.
But if we actually see the actual landscape,
Yeah.
this I think this debate is coming out of from Subhash Pandey's, like I forgot this, Mr. Atul Subhash,
Yes.
uh, the untimely demises of him like committing suicide. This debate is coming out of that. Now the issue like actually our society is not foreign to like such scenarios where like the laws are being misused.
Mm.
We have been witness to such things for like at least for last past 10 to 20 years right now.
Yeah.
The laws which are like for protection of women are being misused by them, like that is a statistical fact over years. But in like I was studying his case in detail, what actually happened. So I found out he had inadequate legal guidance with him. This issue was actually more of a like societal issue rather than we are like specifically like for politicization. Basically, it is being termed as a men's issue. The issue underlying issue is about toxic relationships in this particular case, which as per how our society behaves,
Hmm.
one person in in any relationship is a victim, another one is a perpetrator. That is how it is. Like no relationship is 50-50% ever. There may be cases, exceptional cases, where people work out it to be 50-50, but if we see the reality, nothing can be 50-50. It is either like the power is on the women's side or it is on the man's side.
Mm.
So toxicness, it was more about being who was more toxic over there. She had a background in managerial profile. She was known to get her work done in her office, and that is why like she was at a very good position. So these all traits like when they're put in domestic use, which are meant for like office, so such toxicness and all these things like these incidents happen. So now like while I was seeing that Mr. Atul, he had he was completely defending himself everywhere, but he had failed to lodge any one complaint against her, against that wife. She is harassing me. She is doing this. There was, if the provision, like if they would have gone to like police would have neglected. But judiciary these days are like sane enough to understand these issues exist. A case usually goes to the magistrate. A magistrate is on an average around in a late 20s. In a magistrate would be like in his or her like late 20s or early 30s. They understand how our society has changed and how our society has evolved, and such issues could should actually be looked into by police. There's like earlier provision 156 currently, like in the new 175.3, a complaint could have been lodged by that way. An investigation could have been like expected by Mr. Atul. So I really condemn what has happened, but the underlying issue is about us, how our society should adapt to
Right.
that these the existence of these toxicness in general relationships, and our laws should be protecting
Yeah.
these in a neutral way.
Yeah, so coming to laws, since you brought that up, I want to understand from the panel, do you think that are there any gaps in the legal system where men's rights are overlooked, particularly in cases of, domestic abuse or harassment? Anyone can start.
These 498, I think, like dowry, like it started with actually Dowry Act, these abuse of laws, and before that there was rape, but even molestation cases, they are very common for harassing. They these all are like used very strategically, and the cases, the lawyer, nothing would have happened, but generally lawyers would be guiding their clients for getting the results in a manner that the sections, these legal provisions which were actually meant for protection are misused.
Right, right. Advocate Sayed, would you like to add anything here?
I would like to add that right to claim maintenance must be allowed with special provisions as well. And like in certain cases, we have seen that if the wife is found guilty of in the grounds under section 11, 12, and 13 of HMA, then she shall be either liable to pay alimony to the man, or divorcee shall be granted with strict zero alimony. So such kind of laws are needed, and private investigation should be considered legally and should be allowed in court to monitor investigations, which should be mandatory in such cases, so that women cannot lie in their affidavits or certain things that they provide, the bank statements and everything during the case, during the trial. Such things are needed, and such things should be strictly investigated on the grounds or in the court basically.
Okay. So, Advocate Kanchan, I'd like to, put the next question to you. So, do you think that what legal provisions or changes do you think are necessary in this case, which would, ensure that these gaps or these issues are uh, addressed?
Sorry, can you?
Yeah. So I was asking what legal provisions or changes do you think are necessary to address this bias or these gaps that we was talking about? What do you think is necessary to change basically in the legal system?
Well, I think family courts should actually their favor in women's for the alimony and child custody and property division. So I think they should introduce some gender neutral laws so that and making evidence based decisions can ensure fairness, so that people can, men especially, can also be more comfortable and more uh, vocal, so that to tell us about their problems and everything.
And do you think that there is gender bias happening in enforcement of laws or in the judiciary? Do you think there is gender bias towards men that happens usually?
Yes, yes, it's very common. Gender biasness is very common, and like uh, so,
That's fine.
uh,
Anyone
I would
else?
like to skip it.
I would like to add here that Section 498 of the IPC should be considered for amendment to treat all genders equally under the law. And following that, decriminalization of Section 377 of the IPC, which was in 2018, and pressuring gender neutral offenses should be a societal and I guess legislative consideration also.
Right, right. Advocate Vinayak, would you like to add anything? Do you think there is gender bias that happens? Uh,
Yes, gender biasness is actually a thing, and women are generally favored because as per society, like yes, they have the victim card to play in the court, and that it was actually need of the society. These laws at the time being introduced were need of the society, but every good things has its downside. Now, like these all laws, basically, when we got independence, our constitution was drafted. Article 44 mandated that a uniform civil code should be made, and that is actually the need of the hour, and it is just the lack of I would say the opposition's will at this time that uniform civil code is not in picture, but that now giving that all these laws are necessary, and even like protection of men against rape is also necessary. Presently, the section 140 of BNS currently, which deals with abduction and kidnapping, provides a blanket protection of to men against rape. But however, the 376 does mandate to be amended. As like in USA, the definition of rape is any non-consensual act. Such kind of definition should be taken into consideration by Parliament, and like we should learn from our like from the West the good things actually.
right. And my next question then to the panel is that do you think there is a need to have a separate commission for men, like there is a women commission for women specifically? Do you think that that is necessary?
There should be a
Uh,
commission for a uniform civil code
Right.
rather than like making like rather than dividing men and women. It
Hmm.
should be more like keeping the society together.
Hmm.
We like while we are like seeing men and women, there are other genders outside these LGBTQ community. They consider like about I don't I was reading about like 72 genders, I think. So every gender would be having its different commission is not possible.
Yeah.
So we should like we should uniform the things and keep a should get a uniform civil code as soon as possible, which should also provide for like marriage provisions for these LGBTQ people as a matter of right under Article 21 for right to equality and quality of life to them.
Right. Advocate said you were saying something before.
uh, about the commission, I don't have a much say because somewhere down the line, I don't uh, what we claim as the I don't clearly help go with the UCC, and I don't support that. But yeah, I would say there is a genuinely a need to departure of a women-centric approach, which is leading and lawmaking. And in actually in the 21st century, in the legal system, this kind of women-centric approach should be not there. It
Okay.
should have been departed as of now, and there is a need to move away from the Victorian era mindset that we have and the legal system has actually.
Right. So, do you think that there is a need to make amendments in the current laws to ensure that we have a more gender neutral justice system?
Yeah, I definitely agree to this that there is a need because necessary amendments are needed to be made in the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005.
Yeah.
Some amendments can be made under that, aligned with Section 498A of the IPC,
Yeah.
and also or a comparable provision should be enacted to the protection of man for the protection of men in such acts. Basically, this I feel this is needed and this is required in today's time, seeing the scenarios around the like in our society or around ourselves.
Right. Right. And Advocate Kanchan, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to address the
Yeah.
next question to you. So my question is that how does societal stigma impact men's mental health and their willingness to seek help in legal and personal matters?
Well, like I said earlier, also in the first question, that men are often expected to be strong and not express vulnerability.
Yeah.
So the stigma prevents them from seeking help, leading to mental health issues, and the fear of judgment in cases of domestic abuse or false allegations worsens their mental state, and then they try to commit suicide. Actually. These days, like we all know, we are very much comfortable in sharing it on a social media platform.
Hmm.
So basically, I think we have so many things, so many ways. So we should let them express their feelings and let them express their things.
Yeah.
Then it can be. I think it will stop that thing. And
And do you think that there should be reforms in matrimonial laws, especially regarding alimony, child custody, these kind of things, which make it more fair to men?
sorry, can you please?
Yeah. So my question was, should there be reforms in matrimonial laws, especially regarding alimony, child custody, property
Yeah,
division?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Alimony law should consider actually the financial independence of both the parties,
Yeah.
because in our in like if we talk about our Indian law or Indian society, women's are actually the court is also biased towards women. They when it comes to like divorce case or anything, people court also give the custody to women, but it should not be gender biased. Actually, I think they should give the custody or something. It should be dependent on financial custody. Sorry, financial independence.
Right, got it. So now, next question I think is a very important question, and I'd like if all panelists could answer this. Do you think it's possible to address men's issues without framing them in opposition to women's rights? How do we ensure both parties' rights are, protected and both have equal justice? Anyone could take this.
Uh, shall I take up this question?
Yeah. Yes, please go ahead.
So I would like to add that in the fight against this both the genders, it is more importantly needed that collaboration between both the gender is essential at this point of time to raise awareness of male sexual exploitation and as well as prevent them from the undermining of women. So I definitely agree to the question which you have said that there is a need for it, and more importantly, it is I would say lawyers can play a big role here. That lawyers have the power to advocate for the necessary amendments to make laws basically, which should be gender neutral, addressing the reality of male sexual exploitations which are happening, and there is a data available for that as well. So this applies not only to the IPC but also to the other laws related to domestic violence and as well as family law, which are persisting in our country.
Yeah. Um, Advocate Vinayak, would you like to add to that?
Can you please frame a question again?
Yeah, so I was asking, is it possible to address men's issues without framing them in opposition to women's right?
Today, theoretically, yes, but the biasness is still exists. Yes, solutions are there,
Yeah.
but lack of will is also there. So since independence in India, these the divide and rule politics has already existed.
Hmm.
At that time, this uniform civil code
Yeah.
was a necessity and as a directive principle to the constitution. But rather than that, the appeasement which was chosen that time, it was for like maintaining a chaos among the society. So looking from from a broader perspective, this if we still say that the laws are inadequate for men is an incorrect statement.
Right.
The like I would divide India is mostly a rural country. In rural country, these laws they are rarely misused.
Hmm.
In fact, these laws over there lack proper implementation. We are but like 30% about the people. Society is urban today, and with 30% do not understand what the other 70% is gonna be subjected if these laws are not there.
Right.
We do need some reforms to be like laws to be spelled out properly. But right now, a man who is being raped can be can be can prosecute he can get the perpetrator prosecuted basically, and the maximum sentence on this is 10 years. It is covered under abduction on kidnapping under the BNS. The section, I believe it is section 140, but the new act is bit new. Anyway, so rather than that, advocating for men's rights or women's right or a gender neutral right, I would say we should educate people on healthy relationships.
Right.
How marriage is a legal institution which would help us to carry forward this nation. No- In fact, these are statistics that by 2050 we are going to have a shortage of workforce. We would be facing situations which are being faced by countries, specifically Japan right now. Ki there are no, like everyone is either very old or very young.
Hmm.
No one is in the ages to work. The society, so marriage is an institution which helps the society to carry forward. It comes with certain expectations. Obviously, that is we see marriage like it is to actually bear babies and give it to the community basically back so that they could take a nation ahead.
Right.
So healthy relationships should be promoted, and yes, the certain laws pertaining to rape, yes, specifically that definition should be amended.
Yeah, got it. So I would like to take some questions from the audience now. So one of the questions that has been asked is, how can a father ensure fair visitation rights to his children post divorce? Anyone would like to answer?
In order to ensure fair visitation right, the father should show his bona fideness that why he should not be stopped.
Right.
The argument, like the onus should lie on the wife,
Hmm.
why he should be stopped. The onus actually lies on the wife in this case, why he should be stopped. And if she is able to pursue the judge in the case, and then ki why he should not be allowed to visit. So in that case, only the father can be stopped, but father has the right to visit. Like
Right.
it is protected under the acts.
So it depends on the wife to prove that the son shouldn't be allowed to meet his son. Uh,
Mm, the father should not be allowed to meet his children.
yeah. So the only.
Like he may pose a certain threat to them. He may pose like he may harm them, or like he does not have good interest in them.
Yeah, got it. The next question is, what can the government do to ensure equality and fairness in laws impacting men? I believe somewhere we've addressed this, but if anyone would like to add anything more of the government's role.
Uh, I would like to add here that the need for orientation programs, sensitivity programs for those involved in law enforcement,
Yeah,
including judges and police officers and legislatures, which should be ensuring victims feel comfortable reporting incidents, and that's how that could be possible.
got it.
That's how even government can do and like enforce something to like provide fairness to the impacting men.
Okay. And then the next question is quite similar to what you were talking about. Are there any workshops or community programs that spread awareness about men's right in India? If you're aware of anything like that, or any initiatives that are taken?
Yeah, there are like certain communities or private people like who are taking up this issue.
Okay.
So getting to know them, one would have to actually search to the Google.
Yeah.
But because I have seen certain rallies happening for this particular issue,
Right.
and it has been going on since believe it was 2012, no, 14 or 15. Like it is an old issue. Like there are communities or actually like societies which would be existing
Yeah.
if they need support.
Got it. And I think that's one more question. um, there is a question about why not boy and girl before marrying each other sign a contract with regards to details of alimony and so-called dowry amount. I think this they mean to say, why is there not a contract or signed or an agreement before they get married to avoid issues? Is that possible?
I think it totally depends on the both the persons who are getting married. So it's their personal choice. If they want, they can have some agreement and they can go for it. It's
Okay.
totally their personal choice.
Okay. Just a question on that then, is it legally recognized by the judiciary if they bring it up at the time of divorce, such a
Yeah,
contract?
yeah, I guess it's legal. Yeah, they
Okay.
can have a.
No,
Sorry.
sorry to add here. I guess prenups are not legal in India. They are not yet legalized in India. So any agreement or contract before marriage will not be considered as far as my knowledge and the laws I have read.
I would add to that actually prenuptial agreements, though, which are bit foreign principle,
Yeah.
they are enforceable in cases when both the parties are at sanity.
Okay.
But if one-sided is there, curbing the right of either the wife or the husband, in those cases, the judiciary finds that this should not be considered. So this is being proactively taken up by the judiciary as a like judiciary is understanding the nature, or I would say the importance of these agreements, and they are adapting to it. Though yes, they are not completely legal, but they are not illegal as well to
Yeah,
do.
that's what I meant also actually.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for clarifying. I think with that we can wrap up this discussion. Would the panelists like to give a closing statement? That would be great. We can start with Advocate Kanchan if you would like to
Yeah.
include.
Well, education and awareness are the keys, I think. Implementing gender neutral laws, creating support systems for men, actually, like we are talking here about. So, fostering a culture of mutual respect and empathy can, pave the way for true gender justice and collaboration between government, NGOs, and citizens. And there are so many things like we can do so that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Um, Advocate Vinayak.
For concluding, I would say that only that the couple should be like awareness should be provided, should be made about how healthy relationships are and how they work.
Yeah.
Plus age, plus though I believe like it's actually hard to make the society understand that the need of these things, but eventually they come to understanding. But however, the laws certainly do need some like tuning up. And concluding, I would say uniform civil code is also necessary, and we should actually consider bringing it.
Okay. Advocate Sayed.
For conclusion, I would just like to add that a departure from a women-centric approach lawmaking is essential, and there is a need to move away from the Victorian era mindset which we have. And other than that, I would like to add that the counselors should be there, and counseling sessions for men should be more and more, and that should be encouraged in the society as of now, because there are men suffering, and as we live in that era where men are not supported for their emotional and everything emotions and everything are not considered. So it is more important that we should help and in a form of counseling, so that they can show their emotional vulnerability and make up a society a better place for both the genders actually.
Got it. Thank you so much to the panelists again. As we wrap up this thoughtful and impactful decision, one thing is clear: advocating for men's rights isn't about taking away from others, but creating a more just and balanced society for all. Our incredible panelists shared powerful insights into the challenges men face and how we can address them through awareness, empathy, and legal reform. To our audience, thank you for engaging with us in this dialogue. Change starts with conversations like these, where we listen, learn, and challenge our perspectives. Let's continue to advocate for fairness, compassion, and equality in all areas of life. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, panelists.
Thank you.